It looks like we're heading back here, only without the sunshine. The national lockdown of March brought in the tightest COVID restrictions the UK has seen, and the government is poised to bring that back in England. On a visit to a hospital in North London, the Prime Minister made it clear the existing rules are not enough and change is coming.
What we've been waiting for is to see the impact of the Tier 4 measures on the virus, and it's a bit unclear still at the moment. But I think there's, if you look at the numbers, there's no question that we're going to have to take tougher measures, and we'll be announcing those in due course.
But in Scotland, the government has not waited. Schools will be shut until at least February, the First Minister said today, and
we have decided to introduce from midnight tonight for the duration of January a legal requirement to stay at home except for essential purposes. This is similar to the lockdown of March last year.
People in Tier 4 today may wonder how things can be tighter, but if we're going back to March, they can. Stricter rules about when you can leave your home, the vulnerable told to shield again, schools and colleges perhaps forced to close, and all of it backed up by stricter enforcement. The Labour leader now believes schools in England must close and that the government shouldn't wait to do it.
I'm saying take the decision now. It's inevitable, I'm afraid, that national restrictions are necessary. It's inevitable, tragically, that schools have to shut. But don't dither, don't delay, get on with it.
Wales has been in effective lockdown since Christmas. Northern Ireland is in the second week of what could be a 6-week lockdown. Boris Johnson had wanted today to be about the first Oxford AstraZeneca vaccinations, but instead he is set to deliver more bad news.
So straight to Andy, we know we're going to hear from the Prime Minister at 8 o'clock this evening. Do we know what he's going to say?
Well, Danny, I think we've got a pretty good idea from what the First Minister of Scotland had to say today, and also because right now we know that the governments of the 4 nations are meeting to coordinate the next steps in the fight against coronavirus. So I think we can be pretty sure that Boris Johnson tonight is going to move restrictions in the direction of tighter controls on people leaving their homes and probably school closures as well. Meanwhile, Parliament, the House of Commons, has been asked to come back on Wednesday to debate and presumably vote on the changes that are coming. That's the way the rules are supposed to work, that Parliament is supposed to sign them off. We don't know exactly when the new restrictions are going to come in, but it's going to have to be presumably within 24 or 48 hours in England. Meanwhile, though, this has been a very hard decision. Nevertheless, there's an opinion poll out tonight by YouGov that says nearly 80% of people basically support the idea of tighter controls.